It's October 25th, 2025, 5:37 p.m. And I'm gonna stop and make this one right here because I'm looking at the hurricanes that are coming down the pipe. And since my neighbor told me a while back that they were going to take down, she was going to take down a tree because it split, and she only took down a big limb that was heading toward her house. And a lot of that tree is still heading toward my garage. And if these big oak trees, like I had one fall in the backyard. These big oak trees are like mushrooms. They got a stalk and then they're top heavy. And if a big wind comes, you're gonna blow them over if the weight gets shifted too far to one side, and then it goes past the tipping point because the wind is blowing so hard, and then it's gonna fall. Especially if the ground is wet, because the roots don't go deep. I mean, not like a pine tree. But as I was out there doing that and thinking about how if that tree tipped during the next hurricane, it could poke a hole through the roof of my garage. And the hurricanes are getting worse. Like, I've never had one as bad, blowing over a big oak tree in the back of my yard. And it did. But as I was out there thinking about the letter that I got to write her, and appealing to her, because after all, she owns a tree company. Sometimes I think, though, that that's just a cover. That's all I'm gonna say about that. It ain't got anything to do with anything that's illegal. That's a cover. Just because it's not illegal don't mean it's not treacherous, though. Look, I know my neighbors, you know, where they're shooting at my dogs before. I don't take them completely off the hook. Jesus Christ, man, on that day I almost had a heart attack trying to save my dogs from them. And it was their fault, because they're the ones that messed up my fence. But, I found a bone in my yard, and it looks to me to be about the size of a bone that might have come from Quin. And I found a lot of bones that look like they came from Quin. Okay? And that's why on the other side of my climbing wall, I'm going to put a note that says, and I said, if you hurt any of my dogs again, I'm going to end your bloodline. I just leave it at that. Because, hey, you can tell by looking at it, it's a fresh bone. You can almost see the marrow. It's not an old bone, and it's not a cow bone either. It's a dog bone from Quin. I've been around treacherous people, man. That's why I keep away from any associations, even if they're secondary, from a certain stratus of society, which I know to be malicious, corrupt, treacherous, and most of the time filled with an evil spirit. Crazy. I'm serious. That's why if you help the wrong person, what if you help somebody like Charles, or what was their name? Charles Bundy? Tom Bundy? I don't remember what his name was. Jim Bundy. Anyway, well, look, man, we got a sociopath in the White House. And so, sociopath scattered Quin's bones in my yard. I think the guy that lived here for a while might have something to do with it. Either that or somebody was trying to set him up for it. Because I seen bones that look like a bunch of stuff that came out of the swamp, like swamp, like mud swamp. I mean, swamp mud. That stinks. And there were bones in it, and they were right across, scattered right across from my front of my yard, and mixed with that kind of swamp mud, and swamp mud in the wagon that he used to use. Hey. And he lived with me. A lot of stuff happened when he lived here. That's why you never really know some people. And look, that's just mud. But this bone is fresh. This is from Quin. See? I just want to make a journal entry in my journal. Make a note in my journal. October 25th, 5:44 p.m. 2025. I'm reporting this here find. And if anybody can prove me that this is not a dog bone, I'll kiss their ass. As long as they get covered in plastic. Like I'm saying, it hurts to think about these kind of things and have to have these things as something that's actually been real in my life. Some of these things. I mean, Jesus Christ, man, getting hit in the head with a baseball bat, your dog's getting killed. I'm just saying. That's Quin. Eh? That's probably her front paw. That's probably where the paw came out, right there. That's it.